Oh yes, Series 25 is going to be the next release in the Doctor Who The Collection Blu-ray series. This is of course the penultimate Sylvester McCoy 7th Doctor series and the penultimate series of the classic Doctor Who era as a whole. And it's got some great stuff in it. And so I'm going to remind you exactly what those 4 serials happen to be. I'm going to delve deep into the new Lee binding artwork that encases this beautiful box set, and I'm going to list all of the special features. And I say all because, as usual with the collection range, there's quite a few of them. Before we get stuck into unwrapping that lot though, let's just take a quick look back at a live stream I did in which we all tried to predict what the next collection sets would be. We got it right with the first prediction. Season 15 was indeed going to be the next box set. But did we get it right with the second one? Let's have a look. Or almost. We said it was going to be 6. Obviously we were totally wrong about that because it's 25. But we did at least say that 25 was going to be the next one. Not too shabby, my Nostradamian friends. Listing these serials in broadcast order then, we have Remembrance of the Daleks. And what a gloriously epic delight this is. I've revisited it recently with my kids and they very much enjoyed it. I mean, obviously they were falling asleep when the Doctor was chatting to people in cafes, but they were certainly awake and riveted to the screen when Ace, the Doctor's feisty companion, was dealing with a Dalek in a classroom and whacking its eye stalk off with a baseball bat. Great Doctor Who, isn't it? And certainly one of the best 7th Doctor serials. Moving on from that, we have the Happiness Patrol. Now, look at this. You just can't beat a Doctor Who villain who not only has spirals for eyes, but spirals for eyes that spin round. Just to say, he is a bit mad. Yeah. As if you couldn't tell from looking at him. Look at the state of him. Yeah, the Candyman. Now, I didn't really used to think all that much of this particular serial until I had kids. So I'm kind of revisiting my opinions on the Happiness Patrol because the Candyman, so far, is their favourite Doctor Who monster. And it's quite a political kind of serial in that way that the 7th Doctor era often wandered into. But of course, it's got the Candyman in, so it's also a lot of fun. What's next? Whoa, Silver Nemesis. I mean, super shiny Cybermen versus Nazis with machine guns. Literally, what is not to like about that? I mean, obviously, we don't like Nazis. Well, hopefully we don't. If you like Nazis and you're watching this channel, then you should probably stop watching it. I love Silver Nemesis, and I'm not ashamed to say so, because it's quite derided in some quarters. But I love the Cybermen, and I love big guns, you know, in fiction. And I love the way that Silver Nemesis kind of puts a whole load of elements together. You have the mysteriously time-travelling Lady Painfort, you have the Cybermen, and then you have the Nazis. I mean, what a great anniversary special this is. And just like all of the other serials, there's a special edition of Silver Nemesis on this set. And we're going to get into that in the special features in a minute. But let's just have a look at the final and 4th serial in this series. Oh, it's The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. Now, this is the one I've watched or revisited sort of least recently. So I can't remember too much about this, apart from the fact that it features the gods of Ragnarok. Yes, and they're pretty cool. And I seem to remember this being a lot of fun. It's kind of, you know, the 7th Doctor's era had some really quirky and crazy stuff in it, and this is certainly no exception, if I'm rightly. I'd like to hear your memories of this, and also just, obviously, it goes without saying by now that I want you to get down in comments and tell me your whole reaction to everything that's in this video and everything that's in the box set once you've got to the end of it, because I'll be listing these special features now. So, yeah, there we go. Let's have a look at the artwork. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Behold this thing of beauty. What an absolute thing of beauty this is. It's great. It's another Lee binding delight, isn't it? Is this the first time we've kind of had a galaxy in the background with things like asteroids and all of this stuff and things that are on fire? And I love that all this fiery flame, the fiery flame. You can tell that I'm an author, can't you? Yeah, fiery flame, amazing. That's what I've built a career on, that kind of thing. You can see that this fiery asteroid lights up half of the, half of the 7th Doctor's body there. That's just great. It really makes it look like just a whole interactive scenario. And he's holding the bow and the arrow from Silver Nemesis, which is really cool. And this also reveals here that there are 8 discs in this set. So you literally can't ask for more than that. Have we ever had more than 8? Have we had 9? I actually can't remember. Maybe you can remember. I wonder. Now, what I'm going to do here, as I always do, I go straight to the Carnival of Monsters here. Let's have a look. Let's see who's been given prominence. Let's see if anyone's missing. I like to focus on who I'm delighted to see here, but also occasionally, every once in a while, I might have the occasional gripe about someone being missed out. That's all I'm saying. But I'm sure that won't happen. Let's have a look. Oh, the Candyman. I like that the Candyman is kind of, well, almost the biggest or the most prominent monster here. He's certainly a very memorable character, isn't he? It's a real shame, though, that he is a bit copyright infringy, I think, and that's probably why, as far as I can tell, there is no Candyman action figure, which was a shame when it came to buying stuff for my kid's birthday. Yes. We have the Special Weapons Dalek. I love that. And then, oh yes, a Cyberman with a great big gun. Marvellous. And a Dalek. You know, this is just quintessential Doctor Who, isn't it? Any box set, they can have a Cyberman and a Dalek on the front of it. I wonder if it influences sales. I wonder if it kind of influences retail sales, like from HMV and stuff. I don't think it would influence online purchases so much, but I think someone of a certain age, maybe, who hasn't reconnected with Doctor Who since they were a kid, who picks up a collection box set in HMV or wherever, well, it's only really HMV these days, isn't it? God bless the place. And sees a Dalek and a Cyberman on the cover, and maybe the Candyman goes, oh, I remember that. And let's not forget this clown fella here, whose name I can't quite remember. There's always someone on the cover whose name I can't quite recall. But there he is. And I can't remember whether he's good or bad. So that's kind of exciting, isn't it? That's really cool. Now, let's have a quick look at this particular shop, because this reveals some of the lovely images inside. Oh, the discs look nice. You know what? I've been moaning on about the discs for a while, being a little bit on the dull side. That's all I'm saying. And they look great now. Look at this. Let's see. Oh, I mean, we've got a Cyberman on one with a great big hand, and I love that. I love their great big gloves. Their big cricket gloves. Silver disco cricket gloves, yeah. There's Ace there. We can see a bit of Clown Boy there. I'm deciding that's his official character's name. Who is that? I can't quite remember. And then we have Helen A there, and the Doctor and Ace. And the Special Weapons Dalek gets his own disc. Yes. And the Candyman is on a disc, but we can't quite see him. Oh, dear. And this looks lovely, doesn't it? The front of the open-out pouch inside that will hide the booklet and the TARDIS interior. I love that purple-looking TARDIS there. That's really cool. Is that the Doctor carrying... Is he carrying a can of Nitro 9? Ace's Nitro 9? Is that what that is? Not entirely sure. But what I can say is this looks every bit as handsome as we've come to expect from this range. It really is nice. What do you think? Are you as happy with this as I am? And of course, if you are happy with it, then you will be hunted down by Helen A and her lovely legged soldiers. So look out. Now, just quickly, before we run through all of the stuff on the BBC press release, all the special features that have been announced, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you about the new online Doctor Who community that I literally just launched. It's for happy Doctor Who fans who just want a place to hang out and geek out without getting trolled. You can find a link to this place in the pinned comment below. And into the special features, let's have a look at this press release here. I'm going to zoom in a bit. I'm going to reduce my bubble here just a bit to make sure you can read every word. Fans can experience this season like never before with brand new extended special editions of all 4 adventures exclusive to this Blu-ray set. Yeah, there's something about the 7th Doctor era, and of course, by the way, this is the 3rd and final 7th Doctor Blu-ray box set to be released, so this completes the 7th Doctor's era, doesn't it? Yeah, there's something about the 7th Doctor's era that makes this collection range go seemingly the extra mile. I don't know whether it's just because they have more assets and more ability to do this, or whether, you know, the people behind the collection are particularly big fans of this era. But whenever there's a 7th Doctor box set, it seems to be special editions a go-go, right? Which is really cool. So let's see what they are, or as much as we can glean at present anyway. The 4 special editions feature unseen footage, updated special effects, immersive surround sound, and surprises. Ooh. Does that mean Ncuti Gatwa is going to pop up in each one? That'd be really cool. And just give the 7th Doctor a cheeky wink. I like that. All episodes have been newly remastered from available sources, meaning these classic adventures have never looked or sounded so good on home media. I mean, I'm in. I'm sold. Take my money. The collection season 25 is jam-packed with hours of new and exclusive material, including updated special effects. And so these updated special effects are on the original broadcast versions, which is interesting. The broadcast versions have been turned into special editions thanks to updated special effects. Behind the sofa, we always like a bit of behind the sofa, although frankly, I always forget about it. I always think, oh, that'll be fun, and then I never actually get around to watching it. No, sometimes I do. That's not true, actually. But not often, and I should, because look at this. These episodes have Sylvester McCoy, Sophie Aldred, Bonnie Langford, the current star of New Who, Nicola Bryant, Wendy Padbury, Janet Fielding, Sarah Sutton, Dame Sheila Hancock, who played Helen A. Awesome. Jessica Martin, who played Mags, Karen Gledhill, who played Alison, and Mark Hardy, the cyber lieutenant. Oh, it would have been nice to have David Banks here. Yeah, I met David Banks once in a in-store event at the Who store, or the Who shop, with Gabriel Wolfe. The two of them together, David Banks and Wolfe. Wolfe and Banks, the new TV detective duo. In conversation, 3 new episodes. Oh, three interviews. Is that Matthew Sweet working overtime there? 3 new episodes of this with Sophie Aldred, script editor Andrew Cartmel. Of course, he was called script editor back then, but Andrew Cartmel was basically the showrunner. And director Chris Clough. Oh, that'll be really interesting. I want to hear, because Chris Clough, I know he directed Silver Nemesis, and I know that had its issues. So it'll be interesting to hear him talk about that. Looking for Dursley. Now, will this be Toby Haydock? I'd imagine so. A documentary looking back at the life and career of Dursley McLinden, who played Mike in Remembrance of the Daleks. Yeah. The Making of Doctor Who, a rare vintage documentary from 1988, previously only available on VHS. Now, is this the one that was on the Silver Nemesis VHS? I think it was, right? An American documentary. Am I right in thinking that's the case? Let me know in comments. Silver Nemesis VHS Extended Edition, a version of the story originally released on VHS with extra footage. Very nice. And then there's what seems to be a third version of Silver Nemesis. I mean, as a Nemesis fan, I'm like a pig in mud. A special cut-down feature-length version of this adventure in the tradition of the 1970s Christmas repeats. Only a super fan would write that kind of copy, wouldn't they? That's definitely for fans, that copy, isn't it? No one else would know what that means. I mean, literally, what more could you ask for here? We have updated special effects on all of these serials. We have literally 3 versions of Silver Nemesis. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that Silver Nemesis has been singled out for that treatment, considering that Remembrance of the Daleks tends to get that kind of treatment. Although there will be 2 versions of Remembrance, right? There'll be new updated special effects. Did it not have updated special effects before Remembrance? Maybe it didn't need them because the effects were quite good. Yeah, I seem to remember the effects being quite good. The battle scenes were really good. Yeah, almost as good as Unlimited Rice Pudding. Ah, that's who's missing from the cover. I knew there was someone. Would I have had Davros instead of the Special Weapons Dalek? Yes, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'd probably have Davros instead of anyone who wasn't a Dalek or a Cyberman. But then again, you can't not have the Candyman. Tricky. Yeah. And in fairness, Davros does only appear on screen for about 3 minutes, so maybe, the BBC could get done for false representation or something. The Collectors, the 80s. Host Emily Cook chats to Doctor Who collectors about their 1980s treasures. Very nice. Doctor Who Escape Room, Team 7th Doctor. Sylvester McCoy, Sophie Aldred and Bonnie Langford attempt to escape the Room of Doom. Now, you see, this is the sort of thing that really is going the extra mile, isn't it? The box set would sell with or without I don't mean this in a bad way, but it would, wouldn't it? It would sell with or without an escape room attempt from Sylvester McCoy, Sophie and Bonnie. And yet it's there as a lovely extra, and I just think that really is going the extra mile. When Sophie met Leslie, she chats to Leslie Dunlop, her co-star from the Happiness Patrol, who also appeared in the 5th Doctor story Frontios. Oh yeah. Stephen Mansfield interviewed. A practical effects genius looks back on his season 25 work. Studio and location footage, hours of raw footage and outtakes captured during the making of all 4 stories. Hours of it. I mean, we really do get spoiled. These sets aren't the cheapest things ever invented, but that's because they are packed with stuff and they are luxury. And we still seem to have the standard editions if we just want that stuff. So that's nice. I think that's really cool that we don't have to pay a premium price. Although, admittedly, people who do want to wait for the standard editions do have to wait quite a while. 5.1 surround sound, rare archival material from the BBC vaults, exclusive convention footage. Nice. HD photo galleries, infotext. I love a bit of infotext. And knowing the team, I'll wager that this is infotext that has never been seen before because they seem to update it. It's amazing the idea of updating infotext for, a 40-year-old TV show, but it seems to be, it's such a passion for people who work behind the scenes that they often do that. PDF archive and lots more. And then, of course, this 8-disc box set also includes hours of special features previously released on DVD, including documentaries, featurettes, audio commentaries, and more. So there we are. Voila! What a buffet of special features. Now, I expect you'll be peckish for a bit more Doctor Who The Collection video action, so I suggest you have a look at this playlist here, which gathers together every single Doctor Who The Collection unboxing I've ever done. Get stuck into that lot, thanks very much for watching, and never forget who you are.